get here, I know you're talking about it. When you get there, man, enjoy your trip.
Yeah. Were you there before?
Bumping into each other.
Seriously.
I think Atkins all supported.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a stab at it.
I want to see this is off, right? Yeah. Before I start.
No, I think it's. devices and make your way to your seats. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Julian D. Alford, the Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, welcome to the Relief and Appointment and Retirement Ceremony where Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger will relinquish his post to Sergeant Major Robert M. Tellez and retire after 30 years of Marine Corps service. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Chaplain J.P. Hedges, Jr., Chaplain, United States Navy, and remain standing for honors to Major General Alford.
Let us pray. Lord, we ask your blessing upon this relief and retirement ceremony for Sergeant Major Metzger and appointment of Sergeant Major Tellez as the new MCIEAST Command Sergeant Major. We thank you for Sergeant Major Metzger, who has given of himself in faithful service to you, his family, our country, and the United States Marine Corps now for 30 years. We thank you for bringing him and his family safely through the many exercises, combat deployments, and various duty stations over the years. We rejoice with him now as he retires and pray for your blessing upon him and his family as he goes ashore for the last time and adjusts his civilian life in Wichita, Kansas. Fill his new home with the presence of loved ones, peace, joy, and your blessings from above. We pray that you will bless Sergeant Major Tellez with wisdom, compassion, and creative leadership as he now assumes these new roles and responsibilities here at MCIEAST. And now, Lord, help us all to be reminded of our responsibility to uphold the Marine Corps traditions we witness during the events of this hour. And help us each and every one to rededicate ourselves in service to you, our families, and this great nation of ours. This we pray.
Now taking his position is the Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Sergeant Major, front and center, march. Since 1875, non-commissioned and staff non-commissioned officers have carried the non-commissioned officer's sword as a symbol of their ability and prestige as enlisted leaders of the Marine Corps. The Sergeant Major, as the senior enlisted leader and advisor, is the keeper of tradition for his unit. Today's emblematic passing of the sword of office signifies the transfer of this sacred trust from one Sergeant Major to another. From the Commandant of the Marine Corps to Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger, subject, relief of appointment as the Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, Sergeant Major. Effective 21 December 2020, you will stand relieved of your duties as the Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, Sergeant Major, and transferred to the Marine Corps Retired List. Signed, David H. Berger, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Good afternoon, sir. Sergeant Major Metzger reporting as the old Sergeant Major.
From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Sergeant Major Robert M. Tellez, Subject, appointment of as the Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, Sergeant Major. Delivered, effective 21 December 2020. You will assume the duties as Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, Sergeant Major. Signed, David H. Berger, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Good afternoon, sir. Sergeant Major Tellez reporting as the new Sergeant Major.
Marine to be decorated and retired. Center, march. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to our national colors and remain standing for the award presentation. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Legion of Merit to Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger, United States Marine Corps, for service is set forth in the following citation. For exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service while serving as a Sergeant Major, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, from January of 2018 to December of 2020. Sergeant Major Metzger provided peerless leadership, exceptional technical acumen, and impeccable judgment as the senior enlisted advisor to the commanding general of a command geographically dispersed across 6 installations in 5 states and supporting over 160,000 personnel. He consistently provided sound and insightful counsel on all enlisted matters and created effective, innovative solutions to quality of life and family readiness issues. He mentored and guided the installation sergeant major on multitude of critical issues such as personal structure and command fiscal responsibilities, and reinvigorated the professional military education program amongst the region's senior staff non-commissioned officers. Upon his arrival, he effectively engaged the Single Marine program by attending and speaking at council meetings. His actions enhanced the quality of life issues facing single Marines. Further, he worked tirelessly to forge a shoulder-to-shoulder relationship with the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force and remained well engaged on the installation on operational fronts, generating unprecedented effective relationships to ensure engagement and synchronization with lieutenant and subordinate commands. Sergeant Major Metzger's superior performance of duties culminated in over 30 years of honorable and dedicated military service. By his determination, perseverance, and selfless dedication to duty, Sergeant Major Metzger reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For the President, signed, D.H. Berger, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Certificate of Retirement. From the Armed Forces of the United States of America, To all shall see these presents greeting. This is to certify that Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Marine Corps on this first day of May 2021. Signed, D.H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger, United States Marine Corps. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for the contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you served. Those who follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. Dear Sergeant Major Metzger, the Marine Corps has been your profession for the last 30 years. You have served with distinction. Many aspire to be a sergeant major, but those who achieve it are few, and they must clearly demonstrate the exceptional leadership qualities we have come to expect in our senior Marines. You have reason to be proud of your most successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, a source of wise counsel, and as an example to those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many young Marines you have influenced who will carry on in the same fine tradition that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear Sergeant Major Metzger, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to extend my congratulations and heartfelt thanks on the many years of dedicated service and selfless devotion to our country and the Corps. You have made tremendous contributions and sacrifices throughout your Marine Corps career. As you prepare to enter this new chapter of life, you can look back with the immense pride and satisfaction on all that you have accomplished. You have set an example of professionalism and leave a standard of excellence for all Marines who carry on with the legacy of our Corps. My wife, Stacy, joins me in wishing you a continued success in the future. Semper Fidelis, Troy E. Black, 19th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Now being escorted to the reviewing stand is Mrs. Yvette Metzger. Dear Yvette, as your husband concludes an extraordinarily successful career as a Sergeant Major for Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, please accept my sincere appreciation for the unselfish, faithful, and devoted service you've given to our Corps as well. Your unfailing support and understanding under sometimes challenging circumstances helped make possible his lasting contributions to an innumerable amount of Marines, sailors, and family members. Your many sacrifices and contributions have not gone unnoticed. Raising a Marine Corps family is challenging, and your teamwork is to be commended. Please accept my sincere appreciation for a job well done. Sincerely, J.D. Alford, Major General, United States Marine Corps, Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, Major General Julian D. Alford.
Welcome, everybody.
Kind of a dreary Carolina day, but it's a great day. So 30 years. We're going to talk about Sergeant Major here in just a second and let him get up and say his farewells to all of us. First, I'd like to welcome Sergeant Major Tellez and his wife, Christina, coming from San Diego, and you come with a great reputation. And because we all check up on each other when we're coming in. And you are going to learn a lot here, and you got a lot of legs left in you, so you're going to keep moving. So congratulations and welcome to the Carolina family. All right, so we have Miss Yvette and his daughter Tatum and his son Dustin here with the Sergeant Major. And 30 years. And going over the side with 30 years is a big deal. And he didn't want to make it too big a deal, right? Because Sergeant Major is one of those Marines that keeps his head down, focused, and takes care of Marines. And last night, I just pulled out a 3x5 card and wrote down a few things about Sergeant Major. So I'm going to be short because it's your day. And we've been together for 3 years with a year gap in there. So we've served together really 2 years together. And it's been an honor to serve alongside of you and to watch you and what you do, right? And I wrote down 5 things when I think of Sergeant Major Metzger and who he is and what he does. Number one thing that he does, as you can see just from his presence, is set the example to the young Marines and to the old Marines. Right? He PTs every day. He reads, he studies, he goes to school. He's involved in young Marines' PME education. He's always teaching, right? Whether it's the little things, whether it's on how to do the colors correctly, to how he gets involved with the single Marine program. You set that example in everything you do. You know, you kind of got that wrist band that says, you know, what would the Sergeant Major do, right? When you look down. Second thing I wrote down is you speak the truth, right? So you've kept me grounded, and I need it on a lot of occasions. So I can get pretty fired up over things that I shouldn't, probably sometimes. I call it passion, but some people might call it erratic at times. But Sergeant Major always comes in or he say, hey sir, let's go to chow, or let's go ride around and check out the base. And when we're in that car, he talks to you, he speaks the truth, tells you what you need to hear. And I appreciated that. And you did it so many times. And you didn't even know you were doing it probably, but other times you knew you needed to. So thank you for me. You're a huge advocate of our enlisted Marines, and they know it, right? When it comes to housing, every week he's at the housing meeting. We 2.5 years ago, we went through a pretty significant event with Florence, and it really exposed our housing here on base and how much work it needs to be done. So he's in those meetings every week on behalf of the young Marines, right? He's their representative every week, and he keeps people straight. He's in the chow halls. We have 10 chow halls, and he goes to every single one of them on a regular basis, right? And he's in there, and he goes in the back, and he talks with the people who run them, whether it's from Sodexo or the few Marines that we have left in a few of the chow halls. You've always done that, and I appreciate that. I love watching it. You teach at the Staff NCO Academy. He had the gunnies course, right? I got an opportunity to go speak at it a couple times, and you can tell that the young, brand new gunnery sergeants really respect this sergeant major and the time he spends in there. I would see him for hours in the evenings working on their papers, grading their papers, right? This is not, if you volunteer, raise your hand to do this, it requires work. And I watched you do that. And that's because you're an advocate for our enlisted Marines. You care. You're in the barracks. I talked about the single Marine program. I've never seen anybody be more involved with the single Marine program. And on this base, it's one of the best ones I've ever seen. And it's because of him. And then you spreaded that throughout the other bases in MCI East. So I appreciate that. And your Marines do particularly. The fourth thing I wrote down is he solves problems. And it's not glamorous problems, right? Most of y'all don't even know, but the base has trash along the roads all the time, blowing out of the back of trucks. I don't know how it gets out there so much. but he put together a program with different units, and they actually run PT and pick up trash, but just in a very short period of time, when he said he was going to do it, the base looks so much better. And you know how many visitors I have to this base that comes from other bases, from Pendleton and 29 Palms and Quantico and stuff, and they always talk about how clean and that Camp Lejeune looks. It's a little thing, unglamorous, and that's you. And you made that happen, and we appreciate that. Abandoned cars, right? He is around in these garages and these lots finding abandoned cars. You'll be surprised how many Marines get out of the Marine Corps and just leave their car behind. Take the engine, right? Pull the radios out. The back seats are full of deuce gear. How it didn't get turned in, I don't know, but it happens all the time. And he is around making it. Where's our PMO? Yeah, so he's always calling them. Say, get these cars out of here. It's the unglamorous things that he does. I could go on and on about you as a problem solver. And the advice you give to me over the last two and a half years or so for solving problems was invaluable. And it's always on the down low, right? It's never boisterous and loud. It's always just with me when he comes in, close the door. And most of the time it's in a car when we're riding around the base, checking on people and things. And the fifth thing I wrote down, and the last thing, which I think is the most important, is you're a really good man. For your son, your daughter, for your vet, that's the most important thing. He's a good man. And when you serve alongside somebody for this long, you really figure out their true character. You know, honor, courage, and commitment, those three words actually mean something to Sergeant Major Metzger, down deep. Right? He always has done the right thing, even when I was trying not to at times. So I appreciate that. And you're a good man. Going out to Kansas, and he's been looking forward to this. I know Yvette, you have been too, and we're going to miss you. But once a Marine, always a Marine. Congratulations and Semper Fidelis, my friend.
Good afternoon. Major General Alford, Brigadier General Odom, Brigadier General Worth, Brigadier General Poole, Sergeant Major Travis, you made it. Commanders, senior enlisted, officers, Marines, and sailors, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank all of our distinguished guests, friends, family, former installation, and Mickey East, sergeants majors. I'd like to thank all of you for coming to this ceremony. I'm not supposed to say much because I'm the new guy, and it's all about Sergeant Major Chuck Metzger today. But what I would like to say is, during this pandemic, during the holidays, it is great to see so many of you here to pay tribute to Sergeant Major Metzger. You finished strong. I was sitting there taking notes while the CG was talking. I can tell just by going around with you to meet the local leaders that you're going to leave a lasting impression on this base. I appreciate you taking me around to meet all those people. And ever since I received the orders, we've stayed connected. And if I mess it up, it's on me because I feel like you've done everything in your power all the way up to just about 2 hours ago to set me up for success. Congratulations to you and your family, and good luck in Wichita, Kansas. To everyone, I'm anxious. I'm ready to get started to support Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. I'll do my best to assist the Commanding General with maintaining an organization of Marine sailors and civilians who value performance and effectiveness, who are focused on developing processes to better support service members and their families. Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune specifically will continue to meet the needs of the operating forces and the missions of other tenant commands, as well as staying connected with the local community, as well as retirees and service members and their families. I would like to recognize my family. I know we're streaming, so to everybody, I'm a San Diego native, so for everybody to get back home, I miss everyone, especially during the holidays. My wife is here, Christina. She's also active duty, so hopefully you felt I've given you as much support as you've given me over the years. I love you very much. Our kids, Layla and Robert, are in the midst of finals at Topsail High School, so they couldn't be here today, but they really love our home out there in Hampstead. With that, it is an honor and a privilege to serve the men and women of Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. Happy holidays, Semper Fi, and without further ado, Sergeant Major Chuck Metzger, retired.
Good stuff, buddy. Major General Alford, sir, thank you for those kind words and everything that those car conversations were quite good all the time out there. Brigadier General Odom, General Wolf, Brigadier General Poole, Chaplain, thank you so much for that invocation. I appreciate that. Sergeants Majors, Command Master Chiefs, officers, commanders, ladies, gentlemen, everybody here in attendance, thank you so much for coming out. It just got real. It just got real. So yeah, it's that shock factor out there. What do I do now? But I figured there's a little bit different in this. You know, hopefully it's the fastest ceremony you've ever seen in your life. I kind of wanted to get that so I can get up here, get off, and go home. But I wanted to, you see a little oddity there with only 3 of us wearing a cover, and I did that for a specific purpose because I wanted to salute my general one last time, and I wanted to salute our national anthem in uniform one more time. And we did it a little bit different out there. But everybody out there in streaming as well, hopefully Mom and Dad got on there. I don't know if you did, but thank you for taking the extra time to tune in to see this transition go down as well out there. Thank you for that. So I guess retirements, you know, you sit through all these retirements and you're like, hey, what am I going to say when it's that time? Well, I figured I'm going to start from the beginning. So I was born at all right. Not quite that far back. All right. So I figured, you know, 30 years, it's not too bad. It really came easy. I think as the service, and I think it was basically all, you know, from my parents, from growing up. I like to start with my mom and dad because I think everything, all the values, the characteristics, goods, bads, disciplines, and all those things was bred into me at a very young age. My dad was a career-long butcher, and I kind of took up that profession, tried to follow his steps a little bit, but he was a career-long butcher, and I remember he'd work every Sunday half a day. And every Sunday, half a day, he would take me with him, you know, knee-high knocker all the way up type of deal. He'd just sit me on the counter and say, sit there, boy, don't move. And I'd sit there and don't move. But I watched a man's work ethic. I watched a man's commitment. I watched the values that he brought forth to do the best that he could to support his family and everybody along the way out there. And I learned a great deal. So, Dad, I hope you're watching. I love you and thank you for everything that you instilled in this guy here. And, Mom, talk about the love of humanity, the love of your fellow man, your fellow woman, discipline. And I remember one time being in the mall. I was kind of, I guess, getting a little rowdy, and a hairbrush came whipping up against the side of the head. So there was a little bit of that. But a lot of great things learned from my parents over the time out there, and I truly appreciate everything that you've done. I wish they could have made it. They're getting up a little bit in age. Couldn't get down quite this way out there. But coming in, you know, it's not bad for a guy that never thought about the military, ever. Growing up, I was playing cowboys and Indians. At 15, I was working at a tool rental store. I had military. It didn't even cross my mind until one day in about January of 1991, things start popping off, and I start seeing things on TV, and I was like, wow, I want to be a part of that. I want to do something. Who knew it'd be a 100-hour damn war, right? Go down there. It was too late. Walked in, the recruiter signed me up, and away I was out in April, type of deal. I never thought about it, and I thought we'd stay maybe one enlistment. You know, got married. I guess we graduated boot camp on July 4th. No, watched the fireworks in San Diego July 4th. Graduated July 5th. I was in a plane back home getting married on July 6th. So we got married from the very beginning, and coming down to North Carolina, Cherry Point, shortly thereafter, we had our first son right there, and everything just kind of sprouted from there. Thought I'd stay one tour, but I was loving what I was doing. I was having a good time. Family was getting taken care of. A lot of things were happening, so we just stayed, and here we are 30 years later. And transferring that sword for the last time, I almost didn't want to give it the hell up because I wasn't going to get another one back when I go away again. And I guess it's very very real. But things keep going, right? Things keep going. John C. Maxwell writes a lot of leadership books, a lot of great quotes that I follow. And he said, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. So everything's going to change in your life. It's just what you're going to do with it when it comes. Are you going to take the opportunity to grow or not? And I think this is that time. Opportunity to change over and grow and go out and do different things. But a blast all the way through I've never had a bad commander. I've never had a bad duty station. I've never had nothing. I think I've been very blessed in my entire career. All the people that I've met, all the things I've got to do, places go, scenes, everything. It's just been very, very humbling, but very exciting as well. But there is a couple stories that I've got to tell. So hidden back behind here is my favorite friend, Master Gunnery Sergeant Phil Frazier. So I had the opportunity to spend HMX twice. The first time I went down as a young sergeant, worked up on the hill. But the second time I got to go back as a sergeant major. And it was a blast. I mean, we had a lot of fun. And this guy was the security chief. So he ran all the security details in and out of there. So about every quarter, we got most of our pipeline out of Fort Leonard Wood. So he'd jump on a bird fly out there and he'd start recruiting. Well, I went out there with a couple times with him. And I don't know if it was your harebrained idea or mine, but he goes, hey, want to get tased? Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's try it. And he says he still got the video, but I hope he's deleted it by now because I don't think I squealed more than I ever seen myself in life before out there. But just as funny was him. So we've run into a lot of things together. We used to geo from Quantico down here, and our deal was that if I drove, he bought McDonald's, and if he drove, I bought McDonald's. And we would come down and do it back and forth that way. Last one, I've got to tell him this guy, and this shows how much he means to me, is that we'd go on the trips, we'd take POTUS out, and one of them was up to Anchorage, Alaska. And he's been on quite a few, back at the C-17s, we'd bed down type of deal. So I'm asking him, I was like, hey, what do you think I ought to pack? Lay down in the back of the 17. He goes, don't worry about it. We're just going to get up and we're going to get down. We're going to Anchorage, that's it. We're just up and down. I think I've never felt frozen enough in my entire life when somebody wouldn't share anything warm, because he had his gear. So that advice from Master Guns Frazier always stuck with me as far as don't listen to nobody else, pack your own crap, all right? Make sure you get your own stuff. I tell you, I've had a blast, sir. I've had such a blast here. It was a little bit difficult coming out, I have to admit, especially when I went over to New River, is that once you come up out of the companies, the battalions, or the squadrons, and you move that one notch up further out there, you become a little more detached from the Marines and the sailors out there. Still have interactions. It's a little different. And I was a little apprehensive as far as coming over to this side for kind of that same reason. It's like you own everything, but you control nothing. And it's just kind of a weird feeling. But I think in replace of that, the thing that filled that void in my heart was all the civilians, all the relationships, all the friendships, all the peer engagements that I got to encounter when I was during this time. The main names that you see or you hear every day when it comes to running the heartbeat of this base, there's thousands of civilians stuck in holes back under there that you'd never dreamed to go see. That's really pumping every day. They're the mice on the wheel just pumping away out there. And all those relationships really meant a lot to me. And so FAP. So I see Cassie back there. And FAP, once a week, three times a month, we go and do the FAP stories and stuff like that. So we had to think of a way of breaking this up. I mean, it's just a drain on your mental ability to sit there and listen to the unfortunate things that happen. So one day, I just ground up and say, who am I? We started playing this game, who am I? So Cassie, who am I? I'm one happy guy right now. I'm one happy guy. But it's all those relationships out there. The SMP, the CG mentioned the SMP. The SMP that's going on is Jolene and her team that's out there. Those rec center managers out there, going through the dredge every day out there. I've got to thank everybody. Val, last minute cable hookup, thank you. So everybody that's out there has been so great. Melissa with MCIEAST, Yolanda's been a bedrock of everything that goes in there. All the former sergeants majors out there as well, building those relationships. The MSC guys out there running. It's been such a great opportunity. It's been such a great thing to be here and just to get to know you and call you friend. I tell you, I want it to be quick. I can't think of much else. I'm not going to forget my family, though. And she gives me that evil eye. You talk about someone that's just beyond scared right now. So I'm trying to make her a little less, apprehensive out there. I'm going to start on my left with my boy. Yeah, he's another one. He's a shy bird, too. But he's been through this whole roller coaster all 30 years. Well, 28, actually. And he's growing up through all the things out there. But I tell you, buddy, I love you. I appreciate you. You're a great man. You're going to do great things. I know. That's right. You try, but you are. His fiance, Brittany, that's there. She's kind of the newest to the family out there. So we look forward to the time that you guys and the family you're going to build when we go out to Kansas. My oldest boy, Derek, he's my tattoo artist. He couldn't be here today. He had to work. But I did get my outgoing last bit of ink from him before we got out of here. So that was a great opportunity, a great time with him. And then our little baby girl, Tatum, Sabri, Caroline Metzger. Can't have enough names. Everything, you've brought so much joy to our family. You're beautiful, you're smart. Can't wait for you to continue to blossom and grow and to be your own woman, have your own family and so forth. But my kids have just been wonderful. They've been great. I love everything about them. And then there's Yvette. Yes, I'm going to talk about you. So 30 years. Yeah, we've made it. We did it. So I think the only thing that's going to kind of be a little bouncy right now is what the hell I'm going to do now? What do I do? I know, be at home a little bit. I think that's how much we enjoy each other's company. But I think instead of her kicking me out, I think I'm going to have to kick myself out and go do something else. And just kind of keep things moving out there. But honey, I love you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting our family. All the times that I was gone, months, whatever the case. I think we counted up one time. It was almost like 7 years. If you add it all together, we were gone type of deal, which is nothing compared to a lot of you guys and gals I know. But thank you for everything. I look forward to this. Transition over, move over to a new chapter, go out to Wichita, see what happens. Largest city in Kansas, which I didn't know until I was kind of looking up on it. So we just kind of picked a point and went at it, went down to it. So everybody out there, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank everybody here and those ones that tuned in for the relationships, for allowing me into your family, allowing me into your structures, and befriending me in the family, and allowing us to be a part of Mickey East and Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune for the time we did. You've got a great guy coming in, like the General said, his reputation precedes him. Great, energetic, very highly motivated, I could tell. Wait till you get to see some of the videos that he did out there. They're pretty good. But he's ready to go, and I know he's going to take this thing to the next level out there, and he's going to do things right and keep moving. Ma'am, welcome out there, and we'll just keep moving. Semper Fidelis, God bless you, and thank you for everything that you've done for me. Hoorah.
So I guess Colonel Todd Frey, the deputy for General Alford, will get the honor to come up and give you a little gift. So I guess we've been working almost 5 years together. I was the commanding officer at Cherry Point when you were down here at New River, and we go to all our meetings together and stuff like that. So it's fun to sit those meetings with you, get to know you, and then watch you transition here and continue to pour into Cherry Point when I was there. We get the honor to come and be the deputy. So much like General Alford, I've had the same type of conversation. Probably the conversations before you go to have a conversation with him. So it's shaped me tremendously. We got you a gift, and based on, I represent all the staff here. So one of the things, certainly have a command element, it's pretty tight, but one of the things that you heard with General Alford is this guy moves and shakes all around the base. So on behalf of all the staff, number one, that's the MCCS leadership here you spent a lot of time with. We talked about FAP and stuff like that. MCC housing, the thing you've done with me there, some of the Coast Florence and stuff like that. And so this right here is probably the thing General Alford likes to give out the most, the picture there of General Lejeune. I'm going to read it. Chief of Staff wishes he was here. He's on leave. But Sergeant Major Charles A. Metzger, from January 2018 to December 2020. From the officers, enlisted, and civilians of Marine Corps Installations East and Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, thank you for your leadership, knowledge, and influence. You radiate, and that you motivate the Marines of MCI East and Marine Corps Base Lejeune. Best of luck in your future endeavors, fair winds and following seas. Semper Fidelis, Sergeant Major.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Aweigh and the Marine Hymn. Sergeant Major Metzger and Sergeant Major Tellez request that all prior Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune Sergeants Major join them for the playing of Anchors Aweigh and Marine Hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the Commanding General, thank you for your attendance.
Music was on point, everything.